Dr.M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute, University, Madurai, Chennai. Dr.M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute, University, Madurai, Chennai.
Ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do. And attitude determines how well you do it. With that being said, a very pleasant morning and warm greetings to one and all present here. Hope everyone is safe and healthy. The situation, I'm sorry. The situation outside is quite appalling, and I request you all to stay safe behind the closed doors of your home. I'm pleased to introduce myself as Ms. Niveda Rajat, Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, shall be your host for the day. It's my privilege to extend a warm welcome to the prominent academician of our institute, Dr. S. Geethalakshmi Madam, our Vice Chancellor, and at this occasion, I welcome our guest of honor, Mr. LAVEN LOKESH BARANI, founder, Plan Green Inertia. I would also like to give my heartiest welcome to Dr. Cyril Raj, our Joint Registrar Academic and Administration, Dr. A.R. Arunachalam, our Deputy Dean Academic, Dr. J.M., our dynamic and ever-kind head of the department, our faculty members, technical team of the department. Last but never the least, I would also like to welcome our wonderful participants. Before we commence, the feedback assessment form will be available in the YouTube description box at the end of the session. You are requested to complete and submit the form before 6 p.m. today. Later, the form will be deactivated. The e-certificate for participation will be sent to your register email immediately. May I now call upon an inspiring personality, Dr. J.M., head of the department, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Niveda. A strong, positive self-image is the best possible preparation for success in life. With this wonderful quote, a very good morning to one and all, a very gracious and inclusive welcome to all for this webinar on interview skills and hacks on behalf of Department of Human Resource Management and Office of International Relations, Dr. M.G.R. Educational and Research Institute, University. Heartfelt thanks to our founder Chancellor, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam, and to our Honorable President, Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar, for their never-ending motivation and support in all the ways. It's honor and pride that we have among us today our Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Geethalakshmi ma'am, whose invaluable guidance is cherished by all of us. She's an inspirational personality who always inspires all of us. Hearty welcome and thanks for gracing this occasion, ma'am. Leadership is the ability to guide others without force into a direction or decisions that leaves still feeling empowered and accomplished. This quote suits for a wonderful person who always guides us in all the ways, who is none other than our Joint Registrar of Academics and Administration, Dr. Cyril Raj. Thank you for your presence and hearty welcome, sir. A very warm welcome and a very warm and pleasant welcome to the speaker of the day, Mr. LAVEN LOKESH BARANI, founder of Plan Green Inertia, a very young and dynamic speaker who has given more than 250 talks. Besides, he is a wonderful trainer who has trained more than 2,000 students in various areas like public relations, public talking, entrepreneurship, and so on. We are honored and happy to have you today with us, sir. And thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Welcome, sir. Pleasure is mine in welcoming and thanking all the executives, deans, HODs, faculty members, research scholars, and students for their wonderful support and for their presence today. Special thanks to our Joint Registrar, Dr. S. Ramalingam, Dean Dr. S. Manivannan, and Professor K. Senthil Kumar, Dean Administration of our Phase 2 campus for their wonderful support. Heartfelt thanks to Dr. Kausalya, Dean International Office, for her support in conducting this webinar. A very glad welcome to our wonderful, young, energetic, and enthusiastic Dean of Academics, Dr. A.R. Arunachalam, for his presence today and for his support in all the ways. Welcome, sir. A cheerful welcome to all the participants from all over the world. Hearty welcome and thanks to our wonderful technical support people, Mr. Ganesh Babu and Ms. Akshaya, for their wonderful support in making all our program a grand success. Interview skills and hacks. What does this mean? Every one of us, we know that interview plays a vital role for selecting a candidate. Without conducting an interview, nobody is appointed. Why? Interview has to be done. What is the use or benefit in conducting an interview? Quite simply, the answer is getting a right person for the right job at the right time. It's a process in which a potential employee is evaluated by an employer for the prospective employment in the firm. Attending an interview and getting a job in the current competitive world is not that much easy. In today's world of employment, as there is increasing competition for job vacancies, for one post, a company receives a number of applications. This shows that good grades in degrees and appropriate work experience is no longer enough to secure a good job. Besides, a lot of other skills are expected from firms during the interview time itself. So every one of us, we have to develop more skills before attending any interview. Developing our interview skills alone will ensure us to stand out as a potential employer. What are the different types of skills which are expected by the company level? How to develop our interview skills according to the expectations of the firm? To answer all these questions, today we have Mr. Lokesh with us for this webinar. So hope this session will be an eye-opener to all of us regarding the expected interview skills and hacks. Without taking much time, once again, I welcome you all. Stay home, stay safe, wash your hands frequently. Don't forget to wear mask when you are going out. Keep social distancing. Let's all pray to God Almighty to get out of this pandemic soon and get back to our normal life. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for warmly welcoming each and everyone. We feel extremely delighted to have with us today our distinguished Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi Madam, who, out of great love for the department, has joined this event despite of her present commitment. I warmly invite you, Madam, to deliver the presidential address. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me for this webinar program on the interview skills arranged by the Human Resource Management Department and in collaboration with the International Affairs Department. I thank Jayam and her team and also Kausalya for arranging these kind of webinar on how to excel in interview during recruitment. As and I should this great institution, I should thank our on behalf of the management. Um, I should thank our chairman AC Shanmugam and the president Mr. ACS Arun Kumar for giving opportunity to the department to do these freely these webinar program. First of all, I should tell that attending an interview and for a right kind of job. See, first you have to know the right kind of job where you want your skills to be displayed or your skills to be given to the to the whatever company or whatever institution you are going to. So you have to first know the what kind of interview you are going to attend and whether you are well versed with these skills of that particular institution or a company or an industry. So first of all, you have to know about the industry or the company or the institution, and then the other one is the attitude. See, most of the people who are attending the interview, they lack in attitude. So, attitude is very important, and communication skill is very important. So, with these three things, I think so. If the interviews are attended by the applicant for the job, definitely he would get through it. But first of all, he has to know the right kind of job he has to go and whether he has the skills for that job, whether he has been experienced in this. So only we say that an experience in the industry, like in-house training during their study period, is very important. In the, I mean, where you go to the industry, make yourself comfortable with the people and communicate with the people, come to know many things. So I think so all this will improve your during skills during your interview, and definitely you will get your job. So all these three are very important. Thank you one and all for, and also inviting, and also welcome the resource person who would enlighten elaborately on this skills. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, madam, for a spectacular address. I now kindly request Dr. Cyril Raj, our Joint Register, Academic and Administration, to deliver the inaugural address. To you now, sir. Excuse me, sir, your audio is not audible. Can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir.
With a sincere note of thanks to our founder chancellor and then our beloved president, sir, for arranging such a wonderful opportunity for us, our students, to improve their very important ability. First of all, I would like to thank the Department of HRM, headed by Dr. J.M., for her wonderful administrative skills. Uh, this is a very important topic, as already stated by our Vice Chancellor, Madam. So the communication skills, attitude, so all these things are etiquettes, everything are very important. But along with that, uh, the students, when they go for interview, they need to have an out-of-box thinking. Just let me explain a small story about what I mean by out-of-box thinking. Recently, I've read in a WhatsApp group. The story says like this. There was a bus stop. In that bus stop, when it was cold, evening time, three people were there in the bus stop. One is a very old, feeble woman waiting for the bus to arrive, but actually bus has not come. And then another person is not a old one, but it's a middle-aged person here. And then another lady is there. Now, the hero of that particular scene, that is the man has driven his car, and then he just going to cross that particular bus stop. So at that particular point, nuclear, he has, he can accommodate only one person in his car, but the choice is free. Either the old woman, feeble woman, whom need his support drastically, that she has to be helped, and then a old friend of him who has helped him a lot in his life is also standing in that particular bus stop, and then another young woman, so she is also standing there. How to take a decision? So here, where suppose if the same question were, had been asked to me, I would have said that, okay, out of my attitude towards helping the needy, I would have said, yes, let me help that particular old woman and then take her to her house or an hospital. So this is the way I can handle it. Suppose had it been somebody else, they would have said, no, my old friend is very important, who have helped me a lot in my family here. Should be given the priority. So somebody would have thought like that. Or some youngsters, whatever happens to that, ailing lady or the other gentleman. But see, my personal life is very important. So somebody would have taken a decision of taking that young girl along with with them in that particular thought. But the out-of-box thinking is this particular gentleman. What he did now, he came out from his car, gave the car to his old friend who has helped a lot, and then requested that particular old friend of him to take this old lady who is right now ailing in his car, take her to that particular hospital or to her house, and then he stayed with that young lady. So within a single decision, what happens in nuclear? So all three requirements were satisfied. So this is an out-of-box thinking. So definitely at this particular pandemic situation, where students, could not able to deliver their, capabilities through their examinations or through not only their through their interview skills alone, but company needs people who are capable of this particular ability. So the out of box thinking. So that's what in other way also people are right now looking for a person who is not actually destroying the existing thing, but rather nuclear, where he has to come out with the new innovative solutions. So different thinking. So that's what actually innovative thinking. So this is what the need of the R is. So that's what actually in simple terms I can say that a man who could able to have a disruptive thinking, not destructive, but disruptive thinking. So this is what happening there across all the domains. So dear students, yeah. So try to improve this sort of personality traits here. So you need always to be innovative at any point of time. You're leaving out the communication skills here, so this can be improved. But as far as the this particular attitude is concerned, clear, innovative, smart, clear, all these things, clear. It can come only by practice, clear. So where you have to learn a lot of things, clear. Not only on the particular subject also, but you need to have a 360 degree view of the problems that you are facing across. So then only you can provide a very innovative solution to the your employer or in any of your what is it, administrative capacity. So dear students, I hope this particular interview skill at this pandemic time clear is very, very important, because actually everything is happening through technology remotely without human physically communicating with each other. So this is another important potential of us which has to be properly explored, as well as clear that particular skills has to be developed by us also. So really I have to thank the department for providing such a wonderful topic for our discussion to improve their skills. So with this, I thank the officials for providing such a wonderful opportunity to express my views. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful address. May I now call upon Dr. Arunachalam, our Deputy Dean Academics, to deliver the felicitation address. To you now, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So very good morning to one and all present here. So on behalf of Dr.M.G.R Educational and Research Institute, I would like to welcome you to another event today, which is happening now live, which is conducted by the Department of Human Resource Management on the topic interview skills and hacks. So first of all, I would like to thank our Honorable President Engineer A.C. Saran Kumar sir for his enormous support towards conducting a lot of online activities, as well as I really thank him for giving the approval today to conduct this national level webinar. And also I'm very much grateful to VC ma'am as well as our joint registrar academics and administration, Dr. Silraj sir, who have joined with us in spite of the busy schedule. So thank you ma'am, and thank you sir for joining us and delivering a wonderful presidential and inaugural address. Next, I would like to thank the Office of International Relations, Dr. R. Kausalya, who is a Dean of Office of International Relations, who have been constantly supporting us, who have been giving a lot of opportunity for us to conduct a lot of events. And today it's another important event which is going on. So I really thank her for joining hands with us in conducting this event successfully. Next, I would like to appreciate the Department of Human Resource Management headed by Dr. R.J.M., who has been putting a lot of efforts in the development of the department, as well as the other team members, especially Ms. Ramya, Mrs. Vasanti, Mrs. Niveda Rajit, as well as the technical part which has been taken care by Mrs. Akshaya and Mr. Ganesh Babu. So it's a really a team effort which is making this event more successful. So I want once again congratulate the department for taking this wonderful effort. So next I would like to welcome the resource person for today's event, Mr. LAVEN Lokesh Barani, who is a founder at Plant Green Inertia. So thank you so much for being with us and spending your valuable time to take this very important session now, interview skills and hacks, which is very, very important, I could say, which is a need for the hour. Next, I would like to thank all the participants, especially for taking your time, registering for such kind of important events and attending all these kind of events. So definitely, I think this session is going to be a more valuable session to all of you. So I think interview skills are always very important. I mean, you have to find the right job and the right company. So when you're talking about skills, I think there are a lot of skills which are essential nowadays. One is the oral and the communication skills, and then soft skills, and then leadership skills, and then teamwork and professionalism and ethics. So I could say that a lot of skills are now especially required for students who are graduating out and who wanted to get into the right job in a right industry. So I think resource people like Mr. Lavan Lokesh who are with us will give you more idea about what are all the skills which are very much essential to fetch the right job. So definitely, I mean, our university have been conducting a lot of online activities during this pandemic period, and we are all, I mean, all the departments have been choosing the right topics, which I could say, which are more essential for the current scenario. So that's how all the departments have been conducting a lot of events successfully, and today we have another event which is going on. So I wish all the participants all the best and wish this event a grand success. And I also thank the department for giving an opportunity to talk a few words about this event. All the best. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating address. I now call upon Ms. Ramya, Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, to introduce our eminent chief guest. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mrs. Deveta. Good morning, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to all of you. I find immense pleasure in introducing our eminent speaker, Mr. Lavan Lokesh Barani. He is the founder of Plant Green Inertia. Our speaker has a great inclinations towards public speaking. He started public speaking in 2010. He completed his mechanical engineering from Rajalakshmi Institute of Technology in 2019. He is YouTuber. Our speaker is also a member of Toastmasters International. Sir has given more than 250 public speeches. He is also speaker at All India Radio, where he does a show called Youth Talk. As he grew in the field of public speaking, as he developed an interest towards training. Mr. Lokesh started his training at Rural Self-Employment Training Institute and has trained more than 2,000 students. He began his free training on entrepreneurship, and he started creating awareness about entrepreneurship by giving a motivational talk on meeting school college students. Our speaker specializes in digital marketing. He also trains students on public speaking. In these years, since 2017, Mr. Lavan Lokesh Barani has trained more than 6,000 students across Tamil Nadu. Our speaker has also featured in magazines and articles. On behalf of the Department of Management, we wish you all success in your future endeavors, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ramya. It was an outstanding profile. Now, the most awaited time has arrived. Without any further delay, I welcome our guest of honor and speaker for the day, Mr. Lavan Lokesh Barani, to proceed with his presentation. Sir, we have no doubts that your experience talk is going to be an eye opener for all the participants today. Thank you so much once again for accepting our invitation and gracing the program with your wonderful presence as our resource person. I request you to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. It was indeed a pleasure for me to be in this live webinar. So, like everybody wants to be successful, right? The right career they must be choosing to be successful. So in this session we shall be seeing how to crack any interview, and I'm going to give you some hacks which will make you extraordinary, because uh, in today's market situation, in this pandemic, for a few number of jobs a lot of people are competing. So only when we are competitive enough we can be successful in that. So before starting the technicalities, let me start with a small story. So this is not a story which is like a mythological story, it's something which happened in my real life. So when I was in my college, like there are a lot of students there. So the first thing was, I was not a topper in my college, I was just an average student. There was also toppers and there were also slow learners people. Okay, so in my college, what happened was, in the final year there was a lot of interviews happening, and I thought it would be very hard for me to crack the interview. I thought the toppers will be cracking the interview, but one thing which made me different from toppers was I was much more confident than them. So there was this company which came for an interview, and more than 200 students joined in the, they participated for the interview. So what happened was, out of 200 students, only 20 people are selected. The 20 people, it was to my surprise that not even one topper student was selected, and the 20 people, after 20 people, more people were slow learners and the average students like me. It was like I was very much stunned, because I thought toppers only will be getting selected in the interview. But to my surprise, it was totally different. Then only I realized that it's not about how much marks or what is your technical skill. It's all about how you communicate and how much you are well equipped for an interview. So with this, let me start the three main topics which we're going to be covering today. The first topic would be, how do you prepare for an interview and how do you groom up yourself? The second topic would be your body language and how do you express your thoughts, and how we're gonna tell what's in your mind to the interviewers. And finally, we're gonna discuss about group discussion and how do you prepare an awesome CV. So let's start with the first impressions. So we all know that first impression is the best impression. To have an everlasting first impression, what is it you're gonna do? So let's take a real life situation. You are an interviewer, so you're going to be sitting for an interview and somebody is going to come and you're going to interview them. So what would you be expecting in them? What is the first thing you see in an interviewee? So we all know that first impression is the best impression, and first impression comes only through our appearance. So when it comes to appearance, there are a lot of things which you have to consider. So let me give the main features which you have to consider before grooming yourself. The first thing would be your attire. So what is the attire going to be wearing for the interview is something really crucial. So we think that we have to come in, we have to be very much formal. Yeah, that's all fine. But apart from that, there is something much more important, that is, are you confident in what you're wearing? So to get confident in what you wear, there is something which you have to be clearly knowing. The first thing is that practice makes perfect. So all these days you would be wearing some kind of attire, and on the day of interview when you wear formals, what happens is that you are not comfortable in what you're wearing. So what happens is that when you go for an interview, you'll be like, oh, what is this dress, I can't, you will not be very much comfortable in that. You will not be comfortable. So what happens is that your first impression will totally fail. To avoid this problem, what you can do is you have to practice before you're doing this. So we all know in your college days or wherever you were, like we are not wearing the proper attire every time. Like we are in a casual sometime, and we don't wear the formal dress formally. We know that, right? So in college days, we don't wear the attire properly. So what we can do is before the interview, 3 or 4 times we can wear the proper attire and get confident. We have to get comfortable in it first. Only when you're comfortable in what we are wearing, we can be confident. This is the first thing. Second thing is grooming ourselves. Grooming comes, it doesn't come naturally. We have to get it out of us, because we always don't give much attention to our grooming, right? So what we do is like we go however we want. So that's not the way it should be an interview. So what they expect for men is that they should be clean shaven, they should have the proper hairstyle, they should be wearing the proper type of accessories along with that. For example, if you are wearing a formal dress, you have to wear shoes, and the shoes must be in phase with what type of accessories we are using. For example, if you are wearing brown shoe, you have to make sure that we have a proper belt which is also the same color. But if you're wearing a black shoe and you're wearing a brown belt, it will be of different different contrast and that won't be supportive. So this is like one example. And the other example is like the facial hair, and how do you groom your facial hair, and what are the accessories which you're going to be wearing. We should not wear accessories which are too what do you call it as glittering or too attention grabbing. For example, some people wear big watches with big dials. So these are something which has to be avoided. So these does not come with your personality. These are some things which are I mean, which adds to physical appearance. And these physical things affect you in a lot of different ways, because when you're not physically showing how good you are, you're not gonna do. I mean, you won't be having the chance to show how good you are mentally or attitude wise, because the first impression comes only through your physical appearance. So these accessories, like the grooming stuffs, has to be taken care properly. There are a long list which you have to follow. Let me give a few of the things. The first thing would be, with starting from top of your head, it's your hair. So how do you groom your hair? Like, you have to apply oil on it. You have to have your hairstyle proper and formal. Next will be the facial hair. The facial hair the facial hair must be taken care properly. You have to trim it, or you have to have a clean shave. For ladies, it's again, you have to have a proper hairstyle. You can't just let your hair loose, or you can't have different hairstyles. It must be formal according to what you're gonna wear. So the next thing would be the ornaments which you're wearing. You should not be wearing very shiny or attractive ornaments. It's not gonna give you anything. You have to make sure you're very much simple. The more simple you are, the more attractive you're gonna be. And there is something which you have to be always having in your mind when it comes to grooming. Always make sure that you're wearing the type of dress which is contrast your color. For example, if somebody is so fair, the dress they're going to be wearing must be contrast with their color. If somebody is dark like me, I have to be wearing something which is contrast to my color. If I'm going to wear something which is not of the right contrast, it's going to make me stand very awkward. Okay, so that comes with the grooming. The next thing would be your body language. So you are having the proper attitude. You're gonna wear the proper dress. Your appearance is almost perfect. Okay. Now your body language. How are you gonna show your body language there? This is the biggest question today, because what we do is that we wear the proper things. We try to fake up. Okay. But when it comes to body language, it's not that easy to fake up. To have the right body language, you have to have a lot of practice, and a lot of practice comes only when you're interested to practice it, not for the namesake. When you want to practice, for example, I have interview for the next week, I can't practice today. Okay, like for next week, like 1 week time, in 7 days I can't change my body language. It takes at least 6 to 7 months. Okay, so how do you build in a good body language is that when you're in your formative years itself, make sure that you use your body properly. For example, I'm giving a session right now. I can't just sit back like this and talk. If I'm going to sit back like this and talk, nobody is going to listen to me. It will be like a monotonic thing. Only when I'm going to sit in the right posture with the right hand movements and right eye contact, I can do something like this. I can see somewhere and talk, but that's not going to bring in the connection, right? So body language consists of a few things. The first thing would be your voice. Okay, voice also comes inside body language. So your voice must be very much clear and confident. So make sure you prepare yourself in such a way that you have a great voice which is gonna impact whoever is in front of you. In public speaking, voice is something which is very much crucial. So how do you prepare your voice is only by speaking a lot. For example, you have to be very much comfortable in what language you're speaking. For example, if you're comfortable in speaking English, speak in English. If you're comfortable in speaking only in your native language, speak in your native language. It can be different, but what they expect in interview is something totally different. But what I'm saying is that if given a chance to speak in other language, make sure you use a chance. For example, if you're given a chance to speak in your mother tongue in an interview, make sure you use a mother, because when you're more comfortable in your mother tongue, just speak with it. Speak in your mother tongue. Okay. So this happens all the time. For example, you have your voice very strong and very attractive. Okay, but you're not very much confident in the language you're speaking. What happens is that you are not able to communicate, because when you're not comfortable with the language, your confidence level automatically decreases slowly, and at some point of time you'll be like with zero confidence. So make sure your voice is very much very much prepared with respect to how confident are you in what you're speaking. The next thing would be your body posture. So body posture consists of two things. First thing is the upper body and the lower body. So make sure lower body is always firm. So what happens is that when you're nervous, your body language starts showing it off. So your legs started trembling, and when you're sitting, you keep your legs crossed. So what happens is when an interview, the interviewer sees you with so if you're so nervous, you're keeping your legs crossed, and you're shaking your legs, you're keep moving your feet here and there. What happens? It shows that how nervous you are. So you have to make sure that you don't show your vulnerabilities, and you keep your lower body straight, because lower body is something which we can control very easily. By a few weeks of practice itself, we can control our lower body. The second thing would be the upper body. Excuse me. The upper body consists of our hands, the torso, and the head. So with the torso, we have to make sure it is looking straight to the person. For example, I'm addressing a group of people. What would happen is that I can't see at a single person. For example, there are three people who are interviewing me. So one, two, three, they're sitting in three directions. So I have to see this person, I have to see this person and this person. I can't see three of them like this. So for a few seconds, this person, for a few seconds, this, and the other person for other seconds. Okay. So by splitting this, what happened is that, like, I face towards that person, and I show that I am like interacting, I'm connecting with that person. Okay. That is something which is really important. You have to get the connect only by facing your torso towards them. The next thing is your hand movements. So you express your thoughts by your body language, mainly through your hands. So in communication, um, 20% only goes with what you speak. Remaining 80% is how you show your body, how you give your body language, and how energetic you are. That's what is the remaining 80%. In that 80%, 50% consists only of your hand movements. If you're not using your hand properly, it doesn't mean you will not be able to communicate properly. In an interview, explain something, you can just sit like this with your hands crossed like this and talk. Okay, sir, yes. That's not the way. You have to be expressive. Only when you're expressive, it means that you're comfortable, and you're able to how do you say, express your thoughts in a very right way. So next comes your head. That is where you look and how you look. In head, there is something called as eyes. Okay, you have in eyes, right? So you have to have the eye contact with the person whom you are speaking with. For example, I'm giving this session, I'm looking into the lens, my camera. That's why you can be able to have an eye contact with me. In case if you're not gonna look into the lens and I'm gonna look somewhere else and talk, what will happen? You will not be able to get the contact with me. You'll be you don't have the contact because I'm looking somewhere else. So this is something which you have to consider very much. Okay, these are the aspects about body language. So I hope you understood what we are covered till now. The first thing we saw was about the first impression, which consists of what we wear and how we groom ourselves. The next thing we saw about body language. In body language, we saw how we're gonna sit, how we're gonna uh, have the expression of the body language, and the next part would be about your preparation for the interview. So I told we have to groom properly. I told we have to have the right attire, and I told we have to have the right body language. How do you prepare for all these things? As I told you earlier itself, we can't do it within a week or so. We have to have practice at least for 6 months to master this. To master. Okay, let's not go to mastering. Let's go to having the right amount of thing. Okay, so at least you'll need 2 to 3 months to get the right amount of experience and right amount of confidence to showcase yourself that you are a best employee that the company can hire. So make sure that you practice all these things. Yes, it may sound weird that how do I practice all these things? People, if they see me practicing, they want to think that I'm a mad because I'm going to sit like this and I'm going to show, move my hands, see somewhere and so talk. Yes, maybe people may think like that, but uh, apart from what others are thinking, only when we practice and make sure that we are someone who can express what we can, uh, that's when we're gonna really make what we want in life. Okay, so now let's go to the second part of the session. It's gonna be about group discussions. Okay, because group discussion is something which everybody's really scared of. So second most feared thing in the world is fear of death. So you know what is the first fear? It's the fear of public speaking in front of a group of people. It's easy to speak to a stranger also one to one, but you can't speak to a group of people even you know. So if there is a group of people, why do you have this fear? Is because whatever I may tell may be wrong, or whatever if I tell it's going to be offensive for the other person. They're going to think bad about me. So it's all about what others going to think. So we think about what others going to think, and we restrain ourselves from speaking in the group. So this is why we are not able to speak in the group. When you want to be, I mean, hired in a company, if you want to be like well recognized there, the first thing what the company is looking forward is like the person must be able to communicate very much. Okay, without communication skills, nobody is gonna recruit you. Okay, in today's scenario. So when this is the case, like how are you going to make sure that you can showcase your communication skills to a group of people? So this is the real challenge here, because in group discussions only lot of people are going to fail, not in the one-to-one interview or in the aptitude or in the written test, because when you are a topper or when you have all the skill set, you'll be able to clear all these levels. But everybody fears about this group discussion because the first thing is the topic. So what is the topic they're going to ask? We don't know about that. Second thing would be how I'm going to speak in front of people and make sure I'm the best. So to hack this, let me again tell you the first two tips which I told you. It's the appearance, how you're going to groom, and your body language. Let's bring this back to this topic also. When you have the proper appearance, proper attire, and proper body language, we already are confident. That is, we have the confidence to face whatever is coming. Now let's come to the topic. Okay, the topic should also be prepared beforehand itself. For example, this, it's not like you should be knowing technically what it's all about. So yeah, maybe we don't know what it is, but we can make sure that we are prepared before going to the interview, because it's not like tomorrow I have interview and today only I'm going to apply for the interview. We at least know at least a month before. Okay, before 1 month at least we'll be knowing that I'm going to attend for an interview. At least a week ahead we'll be knowing it. So a week's time is much more enough to prepare for the group discussion. So it's mainly going to be about current trends, that is like what is the trending thing which is happening in the world, or it's going to be about the evergreen topics, or it's going to be about the companies, like what the company is all about. For example, it's going to be a technology company, they're going to be asking something about technology and what's currently happening with technology. It's going to be a BPO, they're going to be asking about the current issues again. But they would be like more into like how are you going to communicate, because BPO, like you have to have the proper communication skills, right? So different companies have their set of questions, and these questions are going to be like mostly it's going to be about what's currently happening in the world, and it's going to be something evergreen topic. Evergreen topic can be something which is like argumentational or controversial. So these topics may be the topic for group discussion. So you can Google the list of group discussion topics and at least have an outline of what you can speak about it. So when you have an outline, at least you prepare at least for 10 to 20 topics, you can have an idea of what you can speak in a group discussion first of all. Then whatever the topic is, wait for your turn, like let 2 or 3 people speak, then you'll get some ideas from what they are speaking, and with that idea you can also like match that. And once you start speaking, make sure that you rule the stage. Like when you speak, make sure that you know everything. Even if you don't know anything, make sure you know everything, and when you speak only, people will see the confidence in you, and you will be clear in the group discussion, because group discussion is something really challenging for a lot of people. So this is some way to clear the group discussion. Okay, so final part is going to be about the CV. So how are you going to prepare a awesome CV? Because without a proper curriculum vitae, you can't go and attend an interview. Even though they're going to see it much briefly, but you have to have a proper CV in order to get you to the interview first of all. Because only through the CV they're going to call you for the interview itself. You're going to send your CV first or your resume. The interviewer is going to see it. Okay, if it's going to be nice, they're going to get you in. If it's not going to be nice, it's going to be very cliche. They're not be like, okay, it's just like other people. And what's the use in hiring like people who are very much like normal? They want unique talents. They want people who are very much expertised, or people who have more talent, right? So to showcase your talent or your skills, you can make sure that you make your CV in such a way that it stands out from the others. For that, it doesn't mean that you have to make 20 pages or 30 pages, or you have to like make it more glittery or something like that. Make sure that according to what company or what type of company you're going, you can make your CV in such a way that it's not like everybody else. For example, don't make a 2-page CV which is like the same thing, your school, your data, but not that. Make sure that you add relevant details which the company is looking for. For example, if you're going for a you're applying for the post of HR manager or something, It's not necessary that you show about your technical skills, about what you know in Python or in C++. They don't want about all these things. It's mainly about you have to show what you know about the management thing. So that's where you stand out. It's not like you give irrelevant information which is gonna add up in your CV and make you stand out. No, it's about the relevant information which you're gonna add up, which is gonna make sure that you're not like others. Because everybody else is gonna tell everything that they did, but that's not gonna be useful for the interviewer. The interviewer wants what he wants from you in the company. Like you are going for a certain role and you're showing off something else it's not even required for the company's growth, then what is the use of them hiring you? So they want which they are looking for. So make sure that you tailor make your CV or resume every time you go for a new company. This is a trick which nobody uses. They make one resume in the end of the final year and use it till they get a job. That's not the way it works. So what will happen is that only when the company which is like hiring a bulk recruitment or is hiring whoever is coming, then only it will work. But if you are going for a company which is like of high standards, you have to make sure you tailor make your CV according to the company. Only when you do that, the company will be ready to hire you, or else the company won't hire you because you're showing irrelevant information the company doesn't want at all. So am I clear with the point I'm making? For example, you're going for a company who is recruiting for a job which is all about training or giving like programs to the training programs to the staff there. Okay, you're a trainer. So when if you're going for a role of trainer, you're not showing what are the skill set which a trainer must have, or what are the skill set a person who's gonna train people must have. What happens is that I'm gonna show about my technical skills on how to program or how to like write algorithm. So this is not going to be helpful for that job. So for that job, I should show like how I'm good with handling people, how I'm good with training people, what are the things I've done, what are the things I've done in my college and school, which is going to add up for my strength so that I can be the best choice for this role. So something like this is going to be more attractive in a CV. So there is no standard rules that you should have your CV like this only. It depends upon your creativity. It's upon your like how you think differently makes your CV stand out. But these are some tips which you can add. Like uh, having one CV and using the same thing for every company that's not going to work in today's situation, because everybody is competitive enough today that everybody is like pushing themselves to a different level. But when we are standing in the same level, we are not going to compete them. To compete them, we have to think laterally and we have to overtake them in such a way that we showcase our talents. Like without showcasing who we are, without showing our talent, nobody's going to know who we are. Okay, so we may have a lot of talent inside us, but only when we tell that we have the talent and only when we showcase that we have the talent, people are going to recognize that talent. But when we don't showcase or recognize that, I mean, we don't show off the talent to others, nobody's going to know that this person has got this talent or this talent. So only when we showcase, we like people will get to know that, and only when people get to know that, we'll be recognized, and according to that only we can get the job or whatever we want. Okay, so these are the main things which I want to cover in this session. And finally, before wrapping up, I just want to like give some tips which you can use in order to answer your questions when you have the one-to-one interview, or the when you have been asked questions. Some people get struck because they don't know the answer of the question, or they don't know how to answer it. The tip which I want to give you here is like I'm going to give it the story model. Okay, for example, the story goes something like this. There is a guy who's going for an interview. He's very much properly groomed. He has the right appearance. He has the right attire. He wears the proper shoes. He wears the matching belt. He wears like proper dress, which is perfectly fitting for him. Okay, so he is ready for the interview. He has well prepared for the interview at least for 2 weeks, and he knows what the company is all about. He has prepared his CV in such a way that the company makes sure that this guy is unique. So he's been called for this interview, and the person goes to the interview. Now in the interview, they made him to wait. So in this waiting time, this person is sitting quietly and preparing himself, unlike others who are very much restless. So when this happens, the interviewer sees this person's patience, and this gives an added advantage. When the person enters the cabin for the interview, he knocks and asks for permission, and he goes inside. When he goes inside, the interviewer sees his attitude, his proper confident body language, and how he is portraying himself, and he walks to the interviewer. The interviewer tells him to sit. Only after the interviewer gives permission to sit, this person sits. After this person sits, the interviewer starts asking questions. He tells, like, starts with, tell me about yourself, what are the things, and this person is not going to tell about all his family stories and all the Tom, Dick, and Harry, all these stories. He's going to tell only about himself and whatever is useful for the company, not about his own mythological stories, which is not required for the company. Okay, so he tells relevant things which the company is looking for. Then the company asks different questions. When this point of time comes, this person gets struck because he don't know how to like attend. I mean, like face the questions for which he doesn't know the answer. So he uses this trick. So he makes sure that he is more confident, and he maybe like there are two ways to handle this. The first way would be like you can make sure that you tell that maybe I don't know the answer for this, but I'll make sure that I'll know the answer and get back to you. Or you can see whatever the closely relevant answer. It doesn't work all the time. For example, he's gonna ask a question about which you don't know have no idea about. So that's not gonna work. You have to make sure that you tell an answer which is closely relevant, at least to the question which he has asked. So these are things which I wanted to tell. I hope this tips which I gave was really useful for you. I think if you have any questions, I can ask now.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful session. I now request Ms. Ramya to take over the question and answer session. Over to you, Ms. Ramya.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ramya ma'am is not there. So you please continue the question and answer session.
Sure. Dear participants, if you have any queries or questions to ask to our speaker, you can post the same in the question in the chat box in the comment section. So there's one question from Ms. Vismaya. She has asked that what are the things to be added in the CV for teachers' job for higher secondary?
Okay. So what are the things
What
to
are
be
the
added in the
things to
CV
be
for a
added
teacher?
in the CV for teacher job of higher secondary?
Mm-hmm. So if you're going for a teacher's job, it's all about how you're going to handle people. So make sure that you showcase how much you will be able to handle students. Okay, this is the first thing. So in order to bring out the qualities in you, for example, maybe in your school days, you would have been a class leader, or during your PG or UG, you would have like taken part in some activities which showcases that you are a good leader and you know how to handle people. These are some things which are gonna really help you to make sure that you are a great teacher. And a teacher is a person like who is able to manage the crowd and deliver whatever he or she intends to deliver. So there's a first thing. Second thing would be how much you are able to communicate. You have to showcase that also. You should showcase that you don't have any kind of shyness or fear in order to address a group of people or something like that. So when you're gonna do that, that's also gonna be very helpful for that thing. Those are things which you can add to your CV, so it's gonna make your CV much more attractive.
So there's one
So
more
maybe this.
question from, thank you, sir. There's one more question from Mr. Sharad asking how can we show our qualification in CV? Like, is it from lower to higher or from higher to lower?
So the best way is to showcase from the higher to lower, because the first thing they're going to be seeing is what is the maximum you have done. For example, like if you have done a course or something like that, all these things must be given in the bottom of the thing. Okay, the first thing would be your degree, your bachelor's degree, not your bachelor's, your post graduation. So after your post graduation, give your UG, then you can tell about your schooling and about all the courses. If the courses is something which is really gonna add up for your job, you can put it in the first. For example, you have done your UG, but you have done a diploma course on management, you can make sure that you put the diploma course on the first, because that is what I mean. If the job is all about management job, you can't tell about your UG first and tell about your diploma. You can tell about diploma first and tell about UG. So that for that management job, it's going to be very much catchy. So that will be my suggestion. Any other question?
Uh, no, sir. I think we have come to an end of this question and answer session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Like it's been really a pleasure. Like I mean, during this COVID, it was very stressful for me because like before COVID, I used to go to colleges and schools and give programs, and online thing was not my cup of tea because I didn't want to do it online. But I just thought, okay, let me give it a try online. So it's my like after this COVID, the first online session which I'm giving is this. So I'm very much happy. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Hope you all enjoy the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for delivering a wonderful and an informative session. Your session was highly successful in the sense that it reached all the participants effectively and helped them to understand more on the methods and techniques used in the interview skills. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. With that being said, Miss Vasanti, Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, is eagerly waiting to express her gratitude to everyone who helped in the success of conduct of today's webinar. I hence invite her to propose the formal vote of thanks. To you now, ma'am.
Thank you, Niveda. Good afternoon to all of you. It's not happiness that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us happiness. On behalf of our management and Department of Human Resource Management, it's my proud privilege to thank our Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, for gracing this occasion at Mr. Multifarious Activities. I thank our Joint Registrar, Dr. Cyril Raj, for his enthusiastic participation. Thank Dr. Kausalya, Office of International Relations, for her support and organizing this program. I thank LAVEN LOKESH BARANI, CEO, Plant Green INERTIA, for his excellent motivating presentation. I'm sure your talk will inspire all the young minds to excel in their career and life. Our sincere thanks to Dr. Ramalingam, Joint Registrar, Dean Dr. Manivannan, Deputy Deans Dr. Arunachalam, and Dr. Sendil Kumar for their unflinching support. Thank our enthusiastic, ever supporting head of the department, Dr. Jayan. I extend my thanks to my colleagues, Ms. Ramya and Ms. Niveda, for anchoring this program. Thanks to our tech support team, Ms. Akshaya and Ganesh Babu. And thank you all the participants for enthusiastically participating in this program. I, with these warm words, we move to the end of the program of this webinar. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
Thank you, ma'am. At this happy moment, we would like to present our appreciation letter to the chief guest. I request Ms. Akshaya to display the appreciation letter. Thank you, Ms. Akshaya. Kind attention to our participants. The feedback cum assessment form is available in the YouTube comment section. You are requested to complete and submit the form before 1 p.m. today. Later, the form will be deactivated. The e-certificate for participation will be sent to your registered email immediately. We have come to an end of this program. Hope everyone has gained knowledge. With the satisfaction of presenting a good webinar, we wish to sign off and meet you in the next program. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel and submit your feedback form. Do also follow us in our department Instagram, Dr.M.G.R underscore HRM 2019. We are also available in Facebook, Dr.M.G.R HRM, and Twitter, Dr.M.G.R HRM 2019 for further updates about our programs and videos. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.